As I mentioned earlier, this is a very special episode here from GB's Juke Joint in Long Island, because not only are we benefiting Generation Records, an institution when it comes to New York culture and music, of course, but we got Vinnie and Stigma in the house. Thank you so much for being here. It's always such a pleasure to see you guys.
Hey, I got to do this for music, Generation Records is a staple. It's a place where a lot of kids from all around the world go. A lot of record collectors, how those guys are. They're like really crazy. I got so many of my friends that collect records, And Generation Records is a great spot, too. I played there one time with Stigma. We had a record release party. He does a lot for Mark, So it's my pleasure to do this here.
Do you remember the first time you went to Generation Records and kind of
when it was? A long time ago. I don't know. I can't remember.
Are you a record collector yourself,
I
Vinnie?
used to be. Not anymore because I'm a soft touch. Hey, Vinnie, can I borrow that? Yeah, go ahead. Never see it again. So that was it. That was the end of my record collecting. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Don't worry. Yeah, go ahead. I say to myself, hey, it was only a piece of plastic. It's not my eyesight. But then again, I like to have it, It's all right.
And growing up, any records at home that you were like, maybe influenced your musicality?
Like when I was a kid, they were like the big RCA discs, Caruso, Sinatra, Mario Lanza, a lot of them, because my mother had records and they were like Italian, And then, the Beatles and all that bullshit, so... And then it went into Jimi Hendrix, and that was it for me. Once I started with the Jimi, that kind of, the Who. But Jimi Hendrix was the guy for me.
He was the guy that you
yeah,
I gotta
he was
play
the
guitar.
guy. I was like, I want an electric guitar. I want to be like that guy. Yeah, even though I know that today there are good guys that are great, still I like that, I'm old school.
Which is one of the new guys that you like, because obviously you tour a lot, you play a lot of festivals, all sorts of heavy bands, which are some of the younger blood guys that you're like, oh, he's got it.
Well, like the modern day was Matty Henderson from Madball. He was a very good player for the, to bridge that gap from the way Hendrix to punk rock, from punk rock to hardcore, now from hardcore. Now it's going to be, after the COVID thing, whatever they're going to call it. The new hardcore.
And of course you mentioned Madball, which is a band that you pretty much, you saw something in Freddie when he was very young, and you kind of like give him some of the guidelines, and obviously he's still doing that very strong. And do you remember kind of like those first kind of like seeing Freddie in action for the first time?
Yeah. Those have been etched in my head. Man, I used to put them on my shoulders, play my guitar with a little kid on my shoulders, like singing, like a little, and I'd be playing hardcore. It was awesome. It was like a moment,
I mean, that's a cool thing. Is a family like none other. You know what I'm saying? Like people talk about family, this and that with like everything in the world.
Yeah.
But the hardcore family, you can't really touch it because you guys really come through every time. This time we're doing something for Generation Records. You know what I'm saying? Every time there's a cause, you guys are there for each other.
Hey, we did the can drives for CBGBs. How many benefits I did for CBGBs? And which I wouldn't mind it. I have a live album out of CBGBs. Speaking of albums, records, and it was really cool that Hilly trusted me and Roger to the place, and he used to leave us the place. We used to take care of the whole fucking place ourselves, So that was really cool, And, between Madball, Agnostic Front, Stigma, and Roger with the Alligators and Disasters, we made like half the records in New York hardcore. I mean, we made a lot of records between Madball and Agnostic Front, right there, Stigma. And the Alligators, really good. Really straight up hardcore kind of, the way it should be, So that was a lot of records. We made a lot of records. Sometimes I signed records. I'm like, wow, I can't believe how many records I made. I always count the live at CB's. I only count my studio albums, but I let that one slip in, because it was a day of my life, that it was recorded that day, and one day of a page of CBGBs, of many pages that I was there. But that one is totally recorded with Hilly, Hilly Kristal, the owner, and I spoke at his ceremony they had one time, and yeah, he was a good guy. You know, he liked me a lot. You know, coffee guy. You know, I used to bring him the old pinoli cookies.
Oh, really?
That was it. Man, I got him with the Italian cookies. I got him.
And you met him at the club, or you met him before?
Every Sunday, I used to go to the
Yeah,
matinee
yeah.
back in the day in the 80s. You know? That was cool.
And this year of like having to be like, hey, we all gotta start doing what we're doing. How have you been keeping busy? Been writing music, lyrics, anything that they can get excited about?
I got a lot of these apps now on my phone that I just hit them.
Which one of them?
Yeah, there they are. And yeah, I play, you know, like A minor, you know, in background. They, you know, they have these apps now that I wish they had them when I was a kid. You know, in a way it's easier for kids today, which is good. You know, and the kids are good today. You know, I still struggle playing guitar. Really, I struggle with it. You know, I'm not as slick. You know, I don't slip as fast. You know, and you know that's how it is today. Years ago, it was a different kind of. Now you got palm mutes and all these like stupid things that they do. But hey, you know, it's your hands on the guitar that, you know, gives it a sound.
And of course the soul, you know what I mean? Like you guys with Stigma have always been kind of like, you know what, like the song is very important, but it's more about like giving people a smile at the end of the night. Kind of like bringing you guys a good time, you know what I'm saying?
Stigma is the best at it. We're like the Rat Pack. I swear to God, we just have fun. People tell me, Vinny, I've never had so much fun at a hardcore show. They come out with a smile because, you know what I mean? They know, they see we're having fun. You know, and especially we do that stupid song at the end with the dan, and like, all right, you're going to, you know, and I yell at the band, you know. It's like you're in on the joke, you know what I mean? Just like when the Rat Pack, they'd be telling a joke, and the joke would be breaking down. Like they'd be ruining the joke, but it's funny. The fact that they're ruining the joke and you know it's coming, and I don't know, it's entertainment. And you can't buy that entertainment.
No, I mean, you have it or you don't have it.
Yeah,
it's one
you
of
know.
those. So anything you've been doing this past year to kind of kill the time? Maybe revisiting some records or anything that you didn't get to do? 'Cause you've been busy since you started. It's the first time you had to take a break.
First time in 40 years. It's all right maybe for a guy like me because I'm a little older. Not that I care, you know, want to, but I'm not used to it too, you know. But what do? I drink wine, smoke cigars, I cook. That's all I do. I cook, I clean, I cook, I clean, take a shower. Maybe cook, clean, cook. That's all you do. Because after you're done cooking, you got to clean up. Then you're hungry again. You play a little guitar, do a few push-ups. You know what I mean? You're hungry, boom. Then you got to start cooking again. You got to shop. It's always, you know, keeps you on your toes.
Which are some of your special dishes? Like you have like somebody really special coming over. What do you cook for them?
Wednesday, St. Patty's Day, a friend of mine came over. My friend Nick came over. He's a chef in Brooklyn here. He's a pasta maker in Brooklyn. And he taught me how to do risotto. I never did. It's high Italian, you know. I'm napolitano, you know. It's very high. Risotto, like, oh, excuse me, you know. But it's cool. It's the basic thing, and it's something I learned how to do. I mean, he came over with gourmet, like the whole thing, like he came over. He lives in my building.
Oh, cool.
You know, so, you know, we're cigar friends. We drink wine. And he's an Italian kid from San Francisco, and he's a chef, and he works in a pasta store. How lucky am I? You know what I mean? I got a friend that I could cook with, like, you know, he's, you know.
And Agnostic Front, do you have kind of like maybe something in the horizon that you can be like, all right, we can soon maybe get back on the road?
Well, I hope so, because the last show I played was January 27, 2020. It was the day Kobe Bryant died. I played the London Academy. It was awesome. It was a lousy rainy day. The fucking London Academy was 3 tiers sold out. I was like, wow. It was the last show on my tour, so I was exhausted, you know? Like, but I said to myself, fuck it. I'm going to leave it all on stage. And I told everybody the night before, goodbye, because I ain't going to do 1,000 goodbyes. Did I say goodbye to you like 20 times already? Now get the fuck out of here. So I said goodbye to everybody because I take a shower, I'm going right back to my bus, and that's it for me. I'm packing up and I'm going home. And that was the last time I played. That's a year and 2 months, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah.
A live show, you know, so. It's been nice coming into the studio. But I know I lost a little step You know, I feel, so, I gotta like really to get back on the road. I don't know when that's going to be, but I hope soon and at a city near you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was the only thing that could slow you down after all these years.
Yeah, it took a pandemic.
It's a blessing in a way.
Really? Yeah.
Like the only thing. You said 40 years playing music already?
Agnostic Front, yeah. We're going to celebrate our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
Right. So.
Wow. I mean, I know it's a lot of years, but 40
Yeah.
already. I'm like, and it's funny because you always like have the Grammys, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this and that award show that everybody's so like focused on, like, oh, we gotta get on, we gotta get on that, and then it's kind of like, this guy maybe should get that invitation before a lot of other bands without saying names. I think everybody works for it, but you know what I mean? You don't sleep
right.
you don't like lose any sleep on that, right?
Nah. There's a van from in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They got the van from the wetlands. Remember the wetlands? There was like a hippie van. There's a Agnostic Front sticker on it. Yay, I made it in.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Museum, at the museum, right?
We're in there. See my name?
All right, I think they're calling us over there. I think we gotta go sound check now here at GB's.
Oh yeah. All right,
so,
cool.
Vinny, thank you so
All right,
much.
Joey, thank you
guys
very
watching,
much.
Do not touch anything in front of your phone. Don't go like to Instagram to go look at pictures of who knows what. Stay tuned because Stigma is about to take
Thank
the
you again,
stage
Joey.
here at GB's Juke Joint.
Christmas time it came and went. All I wanted was a baseball bat to kill a rat in my neighborhood. Beat him up until he's black and blue. Giving the march and a duster to fill us up for all we got to.